Welcome to everyone to this is day 2 of our Too Tired to Cook challenge. And we always do something on the blender because that's a great way to get lots of nutrients into your body. And it doesn't take a lot of time or energy, and everyone can do it. And I am so thrilled to have Tarashaun Hausner here in the house with us today. For those of you who don't know Tarashaun already, and I know I've been talking about her for a few weeks now, Tarashaun is the founder of Blender Babes, a wellness platform empowering women to use blenders as a powerful tool for healing. As a certified holistic health coach and somatic therapist, Tarashaun has created a popular 7-day whole food blender cleanse that has helped thousands of women boost energy, reduce bloating, balance gut health, and develop healthier habits, all without needing a juicer. And over a decade of experience, she is passionate about making healthy living fun, accessible, and totally doable, one blend at a time. Tarashaun, so nice to have you in the house today.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to meet everybody and share some non-smoothie blender recipes with you. Because I know we all know how to make smoothies, but I always find that people they've invested in these blenders that are not inexpensive. So we want to get the most use out of them, and there's so many delicious ways to do that.
All right. I am going to pass the mic over to you and take myself off of the pin and let you move forward with all things about the blender.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So take it away, Tarashaun.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Before we go, I would encourage anybody to go on camera if you feel comfortable to do that. And also, let's get some questions and comments in the chat as we go, and we can pass that on. All right. Sorry, Tarashaun. Over to you now.
No problem. So I am so happy to be here. I am going to be sharing with you, beautiful people, a delicious soup recipe that really started it all for me. When I first began, before I started Blender Babes, I was one of those people in Costco doing the roadshow demonstrations where you walk by and you get a little sample of a smoothie, or you might get a sample of some ice cream or soup. And this was the soup that I would make for everybody. And yes, I sold a lot of blenders. And I think one of the reasons was because once you can actually see what these blenders can do, they are a mixer. You can make batters and bread dough. Can heat soup, which is what we're going to do today, due to the friction of the blades running at such a high speed. So there's not like a heating component. It actually is strong enough and powerful enough to heat the blender. And I think I'm not sure if you're still pinned, Debbie, but I just see me in a little square.
Oh yeah, no, you're on my side, you're in my screen.
I just want to make sure. And you can make milkshakes, you can make ice cream, frozen treats, salad dressings. You can just do so many things. And a regular blender, I don't know if probably everybody has a blender. I don't know how many people already own a high-speed blender, and I'd love to know in the chat. Let me know and which one you have. But a regular blender just can't do a lot of these things. Even when making a smoothie, a lot of times there'll be chunks, or it will be like stringy, especially if we're making green smoothies that have thicker, more fibrous ingredients like kale or even apples. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to chew my smoothie. So Blender Babes was born as I was going through these road shows, because what I found was that a lot of people who already owned the blender would actually come and watch the demonstration because they wanted to know how to make things other than smoothies. And so that was really the idea of Blender Babes. Was I started making videos. They were terrible, by the way. This was like 12, 13, 14 years ago. Making videos of doing the demonstrations and then putting them online. And that's how Blender Babes was born. That's how it first started. And to this day now, I've got over 500 recipes on the website. I do health coaching. Debbie mentioned I created a 7-day cleanse that utilizes the blender. It's a whole foods cleanse. So you're eating food, you're not starving and going through these horrible detox systems or symptoms. And it's very satiating. Everybody loves it, and everybody has really amazing results in just 7 days. So I encourage you to check out the website if you're interested. Just let me know. And so what I'm going to be making today is my tortilla soup. Now you can make a vegetarian version of this very easily. I'll give you some of the substitutes to do it vegetarian, but today I'm going to make a chicken tortilla soup. So I'm going to be using some chicken, and I'm going to be using some broth, some chicken broth. But if you wanted to make it vegetarian, you would just use water and maybe some tomato bouillon, or you could use vegetable broth. This recipe is on my website. Just go ahead and look for tortilla soup and you can find it in the little search bar. So what we're going to be doing is adding the ingredients into here that we're going to be heating up. And then I'm going to show you how to make a chunky soup. I don't know, everyone thinks that with a blender that you always have to have a pureed soup because that's what the blender does. But fortunately, there is a way to make chunky soup in these high-speed blenders, and that's just by using the pulse feature over here. So I'm demonstrating with the Propel 510. So that's the Vitamix model that I'm using today. And I get a lot of questions about which Vitamix should I buy and which one's the best Vitamix. And honestly, the best Vitamix is the one that fits your budget because they're all great, right? They can do all of the things. Yeah, sometimes people do a little bit of chunks for crunchy. I agree with you there. Some people do. I personally don't, not in my smoothie. And so I do have like exclusive deals that I work directly with Vitamix, and I'm able to offer my community exclusive deals you can't find anywhere else. So for example, I don't think it's this model. It's a different, the Vitamix A2500, which is part of their Ascent Smart System Blender series, their top of the line series. We have $150 off right now. So you can always check out whatever the current deals are on blenderbabes.com. It says Vitamix sales right in the global nav there. But what I think about the
before you move on, sorry, Tarashaun.
Yeah.
I just want, because I know we have some Canadians in the house because that's where I'm from.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
I'm Canadian too. Yes.
But anyway, I just want to make sure that is that available to Canadians as well, or is that like a US thing?
It is. Unfortunately, Vitamix is a little bit more expensive in Canada versus the US. Yay. The tariffs right now are not helping.
No.
But anyway, we won't get on that subject. But yes, the discount code does work for Canadian buyers as well.
All right.
So one of the things that I really do enjoy, so the Propel series, Vitamix is trying to pare down some of their many models. Oh yeah, the Vitamix 7500, that's awesome. But they have so many models that it gets really confusing. And like I said, find the one that fits your budget, get the one that's on sale. The only difference that the blenders really have in general is that some of them have pre-programmed settings, like this one has 3, and they have the 3 most popular settings that anybody uses, which is smoothies, frozen treats, and soups. Okay, those are the 3 that everybody wants and uses. But even if you don't have pre-programmed settings, you can achieve all of those things here with manual speeds. There's 10 manual speeds on every single Vitamix, except a couple old models like the 2-speed and 3-speed, which I don't recommend. And I think they've maybe even retired those products at this point. But you can't go wrong with any of them. Really, the main difference is some of them have a 2 horsepower motor, some of them have a 2.2 horsepower motor. I have been blending with all of them for many years. You really can't tell the difference. It's not like the higher, more powerful motor is really blending it better. It just might take a few seconds longer to achieve the same result with the 2 horsepower. So don't worry about that. And then this particular model actually comes with the 48-ounce container. This is a little perfectly matching tamper that will stick in here and not hit the blade. And they've actually come out with a new smart system series called the X series, the Ascent X. And all of those blenders come standard with this 48-ounce jar rather than the larger 64-ounce container. And I think the reason being is because a lot of times you don't need to make this much smoothie. I do because I blend smoothies for my husband and my daughter almost every morning. And so I've used that 64-ounce container. But with this larger container, you can't always do like a small serving of salad dressing or baby food. And that's where this really comes in handy, the smaller jar. And you can always buy the larger jar if you want to, right? So I think that's why Mix has started to create more models that come standard with this jar, where before they all came standard with this bigger one. And for my soup, I am going to be using a larger jar, but for the date caramel recipe that we're going to be making, I'm going to use this smaller jar because it makes more sense. Basically, this one has a 3-inch base, right? And so you don't need as much product to blend properly, where the larger jar here has a larger 4-inch base, kind of see here. And this one's going to require at least 2 cups of product to make it blend properly. Again, if you want to make a small serving of salad dressing, it's not going to really work that well in that one. So I always recommend getting a smaller jar. But now that they have so many models that come with the smaller jar, you won't have to worry about that. So we're going to start off with our soup. Again, it's a chicken tortilla soup. And the recipes on the site, I've already put all the ingredients out here in the amounts. And sometimes you can just eyeball it and wing it, but we're going to do 3 cups.
So while you're doing that, I've got a question. So Susan is asking if you can buy the smaller jar separate if you have an older model. And I think you can.
You can, absolutely. If you have an older model, they have a 32-ounce jar and a 48-ounce one, just like this one, that will fit on your older, probably like legacy model. And I usually go with the 48 versus the 32 because it's the same size base on the bottom. The 32 is just even smaller. So I would go 48. That way you can use it for other things too.
And I have a 64-ounce one, what you're using there, that I got at Costco. My kids picked up at Costco for a present, but also I bought the 64-ounce vessel in the smaller base, like what you've got there as well. Because you're right, you cannot blend a small batch of something with that big base. Everything just flies to the outside.
Yes.
It's very futile to do.
I always say start with the one that works best for you and your needs at the moment. And then when they have like once a year, they don't really do sales on jars very often. It's typically like once a year. It might be a flash sale. Might be the Black Friday, like Thanksgiving sales. They have some good deals, but when you see it on sale, get it or put it on your wish list or send the link for your birthday or something upcoming that you want to get that larger jar.
Definitely. And if you can get a package which has, when you buy it with some of the other accessories, that's the best because the accessories can be pretty expensive.
Yes. And Vitamix has gotten really good about making new bundles, which does that. So if you go to their website, they've got lots and lots of bundles. If you go to blenderbabes.com/Vitamix, it will take you to all of the blenders on one page. And that way you can sort it by price. You can sort it by features. You can filter it that way to see what might work best for you. For my Canadian buyers, it might be like CAN, like blenderbabes.com/CAN Vitamix or Vitamix CAN. So that will send you directly to the Canada Vitamix website. But again, you can find everything on my website. I don't remember all my links on the top of my head, but I have, go ahead.
I'm checking right now. I'm on your website to see if I can find that. So for any.
Yeah, I know if you go to like the blender reviews section, you will see like Blendtec versus Vitamix and the best Vitamix blenders compared, and those kinds of are like the main reviews, and that will have the link.
Yeah, and so I just put the link for the reviews and the sale deals.
Awesome.
There's the Canadian.
I'll look, Helen, to see if I can find the Canadian version.
I don't know if you saw my chat, but I have a high speed, but I don't remember the name of it. I got it actually at Cane's, but now they're discontinued. They closed their store here. So it was a warehouse. So it was it was an appliance store. They sold everything in that store, and they had very good prices. So that's where I got mine.
I would say if for people that are looking for a less expensive high-speed blender, they do exist, and I've tested a lot of them.
Yeah, there was the one that they recommended.
Yeah,
It was from the store. It was there. I think it was the store when I got it. The guy there was the one who recommended it. He said it was high speed, and I've made a lot of stuff in it.
great.
So,
Blender Babe over
yeah.
here. I love it. There's definitely other high-speed blenders on the market, and like I said, I have tested a lot of them. They never quite compare to a Vitamix or a Blendtec, but especially in terms of the less expensive models, they're typically like made from China, and they're just not as good, but they're good enough. And sometimes we just got to do what we got to do. All right, so I've got some chicken broth here. I'm going to be adding some sweet peppers. I'm just going to throw them in here whole, even with the tops.
Oh, why?
Because it's a high-speed blender and there is actually nutrition in this part.
There is? No.
There is, just like the tops of strawberries. If they're organic, I'll throw them whole into the blender for a smoothie.
Wow. I won't eat them. No, thank you.
No one wants to chew them, but in a smoothie, you're actually like blending up the stems, which have a lot of phytonutrients in them. So if they're organic, if they're not organic, I don't do it because that's where a lot of the pesticides like to hide. And so
Okay.
we'll cut them off if they're not organic, but if they are organic, just toss them in.
That's interesting to know.
Yes, learn something new today, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I've got some tomatoes here. Putting the whole tomatoes in there. I'm going to put in basically equivalent to 1 carrot. We've got some mushrooms, some cilantro.
That's not, no.
No, if you don't like cilantro, you're one of those people where it tastes like metal, just leave it out. You can always omit or substitute in any recipe. This is some taco seasoning. And then this is just some garlic salt here. Okay, so as we know, or probably you've heard before, these blenders are not quiet.
It's quiet on here. We're not going to hear it.
Okay, so I don't know if Debbie wants to mute this part. It takes about 5 minutes to go from cold to hot. So something I do want to share, like if you are not using a blender that can heat the way these ones can, you could just use hot broth, like if you heated up the broth. But the recipe's on the website. So if you go to blenderbabes.com, just do search for a tortilla soup and you'll find it. I have a vegetarian version and a chicken version. I'm using the chicken one right here. And again, you can substitute, right? So instead of using water and bouillon, you can use broth.
I will look for on your website for the recipe.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to unstart this. It is going to be loud. So I don't know if you want to mute and maybe we can answer questions like in the chat. I can also walk away and try to move away because it's really loud. Normally it's not bad, right? You're blending usually for a minute, right? But this one's going to take about 5 minutes. So I'm going to put it here on the soup setting. Again, if you just had no presets, you would just blend from low to high on speed 10 for about 5-6 minutes. But because it's a preset, that means it's going to stop on its own. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got to turn it on.
Yeah, we don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
We probably
too. So start slow to get the ingredients moving around, and then it's going to speed up.
We barely hear it. We barely hear it, and we can hear you a little bit too. So Susan wants to know if it has a timer. Can you hear us? Okay,
They
now
can't hear. Does it have a timer?
we can't hear anything from your side.
I didn't ask if it had a timer. I said it was cool that it does have a timer.
Oh, sorry, Susan. Okay, it's cool that it does have a timer.
I'm a little challenged today
so we can chat.
because I'm on my phone, so I'm trying to flip back and forth, so I'm missing things.
It's okay. All good. We will have a replay that you can get. All this weekend will be another replay weekend, and we'll have all the too tired to cook days, including today's session, so that you can watch it if you miss some of it, for sure.
And in the meantime, because I'm over here in my office and I was
Look at
pulling
that.
out all these blenders yesterday to figure out which one I felt like using. And I pulled out the new Ascent series. I just got it not too long ago. I was writing a review on it, but I'll show you what it looks like because it's pretty cool. It is the smart system. Pull it out of the box here. And it is their top of the line Vitamix model, which means the smart system means that they have touch screen, they've got more pre-programmed settings, it's Bluetooth enabled, and most importantly, I think, is that any new product that Vitamix comes out with is geared towards the smart system blenders. And for example, they have a food processor attachment now, which is amazing because I did not want to buy a separate food processor. I don't have the space in my kitchen for a large food processor. And so I really wanted to get the attachment and I love it. I use it all the time. I hate chopping onions. It just makes making things for a recipe really easy and quick. Kind of show you. This one is the X5. You can see from the picture here what it looks like. And then I'll take it out. But you've got like the touch screen. You've got how many? You've got 10 program settings. Right. The other one that I'm using has 3. So that's amazing. It also has a plus 15 feature. So you can add time while it's blending, like 15 seconds at a time. And it has the cleaning cycle. You can see here, just from this picture, it's easier to pull out. Is it also has the little side thing to hold the tamper, little tamper holder. And then it fits the food processor attachment. It fits a larger jar. It fits the stainless steel jar. So it's a pretty amazing little blender. And it's got the little 48-ounce container with the little perfectly matching tamper. And this is the little tamper holder piece right here. So it like sits on the side of the blender. So you don't have to like put this somewhere and then try to find it when you're trying to blend. It does have its own specific Ascent series recipe book. And let me show you the base.
I think all high-speed blenders come with books.
Pardon?
All high-speed blenders usually come with books.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. So you can see here what just the face looks like. So it's got like the knob is a little bit more like a stereo knob, the way that it feels when you turn it versus like their traditional kind of knobs and dials. You can see the power button here. It's got a pulse button here. And then these are going to like cycle through the different program settings. This is a cleaning cycle. And then this is the add 15 time. I don't know if you can see that very well.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
see
it's
that.
pretty cool.
So can you still blend your dry goods in the jars?
That's a great question. I have tested blending dry goods in all of the jars and they all can do it. But if you plan on grinding a lot, like you're making flour all the time, you might want to get the dry goods jar that's specifically for dry grinding. And the reason is the blade's different. So this one kind of pulls ingredients down into the blade where the dry goods jar like pushes it out to the sides. And this one, if you like use this constantly, like a wet jar, use it constantly for grinding dry goods, it's going to start to dull the blade. So occasional grinding, you're like, oh, I want some coffee really quick. I'm going to grind some of my coffee beans. Or you maybe have a recipe that requires cornmeal. So you might throw some popcorn kernels in there and make cornmeal really quick. If you just do it occasionally, it's totally fine. But if you plan to grind a lot, I do recommend the dry goods jar. I don't grind a large amount. So I have the dry goods jar, but I don't really use it very often. I know a lot of people like to make their own bread dough right? And so they're grinding the grains to make flour. And if you're doing that, get the dry goods jar.
Yeah. I've only used it for making spice mixes. That's more what
Oh,
I
that's a good one too. Yeah, that a good for doing a lot of spices, and spices will they will oh, I heard the blender stop. Spices will potentially make the jar smell, right? So if you're doing like a lot of turmeric, it might stain the jar yellow. And if you are doing a lot of spices, it can have that smell that lingers. So I would do that in a dry grains jar and not my wet jar. Oops.
I only do it occasionally.
Oh no. Well done.
Look at that. Set it and forget it. I love that.
That is the beauty, honestly. And I can see you'll be able to see some of the like steam coming out. I'm going to see that here in a second. Let's see, I can feel it. It's pretty warm. All right, let's see if there's some steam. Oh boy.
Oh,
Look at that.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. So this is how we're going to make a chunky soup. So whatever you want to add into your soup for chunks, for this particular one, I'm doing black beans. I'm doing corn and chicken. Now, normally I would also, ooh, it's hot. It'll burn my arm here. I also do chips because I love like a little crispiness in my tortilla soup. If I was serving this right away, I would do the chips now. But because I'm probably gonna, it's 9 a.m. over here. I'm not really feeling like having soup right now, but for you guys, it's lunchtime. You would do this, and this is a large serving, right? I'm gonna have leftovers. I'll probably eat it all week, right? Just me at home. And so what we're gonna do to make it chunky is we're gonna use the pulse feature. So you'll add your ingredients, and then we're just gonna quickly pulse them in. Okay, you see all the little chunks in here?
Yeah.
Let me show a little closer. We see all those little chunks.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pour some in my little soup bowl here. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. And because I like the little crispies, these my dishes. So here I'm just going to add some of my little tortilla chips, and I'm just going to crunch them in myself. And I probably will have this after we get off here.
Have soup for breakfast.
Hey, it's kind of.
Why not? You can eat soup any time of the day. Eat soup.
So good.
It looks delicious.
I know. I can't wait to eat it. But yes, this is one of my favorite simple soup recipes, but I've got 50 soups on the website. So if you go to the recipe section, you can actually sort by the type of recipe. So you could just click the little soups checkbox and it'll start showing all the soups or green, whether it's green smoothies or ice cream, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I added the 2 recipes for the tortilla soup, both the chicken
Wonderful.
and vegetarian, into the chat for anyone
Awesome.
interested. And then after that, you can just sort around and check everything out. It's beautiful.
Yes. Yes. So I'm going to show the date caramel recipe, which is not on the website yet because it's new. So you guys are the first to see it. Let me put this out of the way. I'm just going to wait for this here. Soup on the counter. So this one is a new recipe, and I've had it requested a lot. And so I found a recipe with this other holistic woman that I met, another colleague, and I tried her, and I've tried a few, and I tried hers specifically, her date caramel, and it was so delicious. And I was like, we need to add this to the website. So I have lots of other bloggers. I've got recipes from bloggers and cookbooks and all those things are also on the site. So a lot of really amazing, like tried and true tested recipes. And at one time I had a lot of recipe testers because I couldn't test every recipe myself, especially having to test in multiple blenders to get like the correct instructions. And so I had a large group of recipe testers, and they would test all my recipes and they would rate them, and only the recipes that rated very highly made it to the website. So just know that they're all tested and delicious. Okay, so we are going to start with a liquid. So when you're blending, you always want to start with liquid first. You don't want to put like hard ingredients or frozen ingredients first. You want to do that after. But we've just got some simple ingredients here. I have full fat coconut milk, the kind that you get from a can, right? So we're going to be doing a little, like a few pinches of salt. I have pink Himalayan salt here, and that is because it's got minerals in it, right? It's an iodized. And some vanilla. We're going to be able to add more coconut milk if you like a thinner date caramel, which I do, but I'm following her original recipe right now, which is half a cup. And then the dates they're pitted and they've been soaked. So typically a high-speed blender doesn't always need that soaking, at least overnight like I did, but a little bit of soaking is really helpful because it just makes it blend a little bit easier. So even if you don't have a high-speed blender, you can make this recipe. Just make sure that you soak your dates overnight so they're super soft. So we're going to start with the milk. And again, this is full fat coconut milk. And don't be afraid of all those healthy fats, the beautiful healthy fats that are in coconut milk. They're so good for you. It's a really great way to get your essential fatty acids, right? Which our brain needs. So always don't be afraid of healthy fats. This is about a cup of soaked dates. And we've got a tablespoon of cinnamon. I believe this is half a teaspoon of vanilla. Might be 1 teaspoon. I'm not sure. I have to look at the recipe again. And then we're just going to do a couple pinches of salt. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit in there. We can always add more. And we're going to blend. This is why that 48-ounce jar is nice, the smaller jar, because this would not be enough produce to get the full blend in the larger jar. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the manual speeds here. So I'm gonna turn it on. And this won't blend long, so we don't have to walk away.
This is where I
It
play.
looks so good. This is where we play some music.
I could do some Jeopardy music.
Na, 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 na.
I should get the Jeopardy music to have when I'm doing my blending too. Beautiful.
I just want to sing it.
It's pretty blended to me. So again, I didn't use a preset, and so you do have to shut it off if you're using the manual speeds. Let's see if you can see here.
It's beautiful.
Yes. So
What is it?
it's a date caramel. So
What
it's
would you put it with?
a recipe that's vegan, all plant-based.
That looks good.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Is it like ice cream?
So this is a thicker one. So this would be like really great on pancakes and waffles. I actually like it a little thinner than this. This is pretty thick. This would be great too if you're into baking and maybe you wanted to do some of those no bake recipes you've probably seen on Instagram, where one layer of, I don't know, Rice Krispies, and then they put a layer of caramel, and then they'll do a layer of chocolate and then put it in like the fridge or freezer to get hard. And that would be really great for this. Whatever you can think of. Sometimes we just want a healthy sweet, like in our mouth, right? Maybe instead of having a piece of chocolate, a healthier version of reaching for a candy bar or ice cream, you could make some of this. You could just have a couple spoonfuls. Maybe you have some apples that you cut up and you could dip in it. That would be really great, like healthy snack that's high in fiber and healthy fats. So it's going to keep you satiated. Any sugar that's in the dates is going to enter your bloodstream much slower because it has so much fiber in it, right? So it's not going to give you that like sugar spike that most other types of sugars are going to give you. So I'm going to add a tiny bit more coconut milk because I like a little thinner caramel, especially if I'm like pouring it on, I don't know, some vanilla ice cream or vanilla frozen yogurt would be good. Maybe if you use some like Greek yogurt, you get a lot of protein, you could just do a few sprinkles of that. Maybe like some nuts or something like that would be a really healthy breakfast or snack or even dessert.
And add it to your granola or your.
I love that. I love
or
that.
the other one, we're going to do some overnight oats. You could add it on top. Oh, would that taste so good?
That would. I'm just going to kind of mix this here. I just wanted to combine it so it's a little bit thinner. Consistency. Oh God, it smells so good.
Bring some my way.
I love it.
It looks delicious, sounds delicious.
I would just eat it off of a spoon.
Ah, absolutely. You can totally do that.
I would just take a spoon and eat it.
Yeah. And it's all of the ingredients are so good for you. So much better than buying the caramel in the store.
The caramel in the store is so not good for you, unfortunately, because caramel's delicious.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a much healthier alternative. I'm always finding or suggesting recipes to my clients because a lot of them are dealing with like food cravings, whether they're in like perimenopause or menopause or even before all of that. Like they've got a lot of food cravings.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like sweet or salty. But truthfully, it's all sugar. So even if you're the type that wants a crunch and wants some chips or something, crackers, like something salty, it all turns into sugar in the body. It just takes a little longer than if you have something that's like sweet, like a candy bar or something. And so a lot of times when I'm dealing with sugar cravings or even like emotional eating, which a lot of my clients deal with emotional eating. And emotional eating is really just anytime you reach for food when it's not about hunger, like hunger cues or nutrition. It's whether you're happy, whether you're feeling sad, whether you're feeling lonely, like figuring that out and reaching for foods. And a lot of that actually will stem from childhood. So we kind of work on where the emotional eating is coming from and then how to overcome it so that we make healthier choices when we have those kinds of feelings. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
That was amazing. And yeah, my emotional eating is all about this limiting belief that I have that I'm going to be hungry when I go to bed. And
That's yeah.
And so I don't anymore. Used to want to eat right before bed because I was thinking I was going to be hungry. But it's just paying attention and being aware of those cues, right? That really makes a big difference.
Yeah, and also with my somatic work, the somatic therapy is really starting to dig into where that limiting belief is coming from, where it's stored in the body, maybe why, like where it started. Like we might be able to go dig deeper and figure out where that limiting belief came from so that we can, again, it's the awareness, but also like really starting to change that limiting belief on a subconscious level.
Yeah. For sure. I totally agree. It's not just about getting the ice cream because we're sad or be many other ways that we're emotionally eating and maybe not even aware of it. It just happens. Tarashaun, I don't know if there's any other. So Juju says, I really appreciate you doing this blending. I myself blend in juice and I'm enjoying every bit of it. So thank you.
Love it. Yeah. And I definitely am not anti-juicer. I think that juicing has a lot of benefits, especially if you're dealing with like chronic illness and chronic diseases. It's really fantastic. But in terms of everyday usage and not wasting like a lot of the fruit or vegetable and the fiber, I'm all about the blending. I just think it's a little easier. It's easier to clean than a juicer, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, way easier, especially if you have one that has the preset that you just push the button and away you go. But I really appreciate you coming on and doing this today. I learned so much myself, including now I'm going to put the whole pepper in and never mind
And
cutting
the
it out.
strawberry
What a way
step.
to save time. I love that. I never thought of that before. And I'm going to have to tell my raw food chef coach too about that, because I don't know if she does that, but I'm definitely going to talk to her. And I will, oh, there's Juju says she even does her dog blended foods.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
you know
And
what?
real food. Your dog is so lucky they're eating real food. They're going to live longer. You can actually make like dog treats in the blender too. The same way we do for humans is blending it, maybe putting it in a little mold, sticking it in the fridge or freezer. Yeah.
Yeah, great. I just would love for you, and I know Helen has her hand up, but before we go to Helen, next week on Thursday, April the 24th is it April 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time, I believe. Tarashaun is going to be back, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about what you're going to talk about next Thursday.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's already next Thursday. Yeah. So I'm going to be sharing my slim down secrets with you. So definitely stay tuned. You'll want to know what the secrets are. And I can't wait to see you guys again.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I can't see it, but I want to make sure I have the right day for you. I think it's the Thursday.
I think it is. I think you're right. I've got it in my calendar too.
Or Wednesday. Oh no, it might be Wednesday.
Oh, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday's the 23rd.
It is Wednesday.
Thursday.
Oh, Wednesday, April 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 11 a.m. Pacific time. And we're going to talk about slim down secrets. I love that. And I will be sending more info out about that, but I just wanted everybody to know that. Pam says, thank you so much for the demo. And
You're welcome.
Helene, I don't know if you had, and I get this, yeah, bring her back. Oh, for sure. I am really so grateful that you were volunteered to come and do it.
It sounded so fun. I was like, yeah, I want to cook with you guys.
No, it's great. And Helen was asking if you've ever made French onion soup in the blender.
Vegetarian, like a vegetarian.
Not French onion soup in the blender. I'm not sure if that's a blender recipe because French onion soup doesn't have the breading on the top and cheese. It needs to be baked. Like maybe you could make the base in the blender, but I haven't tried one. Thanks for bringing that to my attention because I love French onion soup. I'm sure there's a way.
I was thinking you could do the base.
Yeah,
for sure. And then just
put the onions inside need to cook and that kind of thing. So you might have to do that separately.
So what's your go-to vegetarian one, if I can throw that at you?
Vegetarian. So there's a few sweet potato recipes on my site in the soup section. There's one that's a chipotle sweet potato soup that's by my friend Kathy from, I think it's Healthy Happy Life. She's a blogger, a vegan blogger, and she has a couple cookbooks. So that one was from one of her cookbooks, and it's so easy to make. It's delicious. Definitely try that one out. That one is plant-based for sure.
Beautiful. And Susan is saying that she wanted to thank you because this is making Blender more than just smoothies again. Yes. That's what we're here for. I love it.
Smoothies, but I do have a lot of smoothies on my website too. So if you need some smoothie inspiration.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I like smoothies a lot.
There's so many recipes that are on the website, and
yes,
so many ways that you can make smoothies without putting all the powdered stuff in it.
And I've got some ebooks. Like I have an ebook bundle that has, I don't know, 130 or 140 recipes that are, some of them are smoothies. Like there's like a protein smoothie ebook. I think there's like a detox smoothies, but there's lots of other stuff. So there's like ice cream recipes and soup recipes. There's a lot of DIY stuff, like how to make your own chai spice for chai spice tea, just lots of DIY recipes. There's blender cocktails.
Ooh.
If
So
you wanna
many
check out the
ways.
bundle, yeah, there's lots of good stuff in there. But yeah, I've got lots of programs, like a 21-day clean eating program. And then I have my coaching program. So if that's something that interests you, you can always schedule a free health consult. We'll walk through what's going on for you and where you want to go, and I'll give you a roadmap to get there, whether we decide to work together or not. And that's one of my favorite things to do.
Beautiful. Tarashaun, again, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
today, and so looking forward to next Wednesday when we have you back talking about Slim Down.
Me too. Me too.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for attending today, and enjoy the rest of your day.